Hey everybody, guess what? We are back. This is Dan Tony Sports. We took 2 weeks off because, well, weather sucks and I was sick. As always, I'm joined tonight by Dan O'Shea, Tony Casper, and Dan Beebe. We have some other people here with us. We'll introduce them in just a minute. But if you've been paying attention to our social media, you'll know who they are. We have a fun show tonight. We are going to... we're going to do what's called a bracket up challenge, and we're going to challenge Run the Point podcast to a trivia game show style challenge. But first, like always, we're going to do our pigskin poetry, except this week it's not about football. I'm going to get a little choked up here, gentlemen. Well, fellas, it's been a year with lots of fun and lots of cheer. While we don't always agree, and sometimes, Tony, you yell at me, it's been fun having you guys here. With challenges ahead, we grow. We're going places we didn't think we'd go. And we have expanded our mind and wasted our time, but this has helped us more than we know. So, gentlemen, in the end, I'm glad that we're all friends. Now let's blow this joint against Run the Point and kick their rear ends. Guys, ready? Run the Point podcast. Why don't you introduce yourselves, starting with the gentleman to my right. We'll go around the half circle here.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. First of all, thanks for having us on. It's an honor. Congratulations on 1 year.
Thank
That's
you.
really cool. I hope that we get to that point, and if we do, we'll definitely have you guys on and return the favor.
Did you say your name?
My name is Scott. I am the point guard for the Run the Point podcast here, and I will just leave it at that and pass it along here.
Perfect.
I'm John. I'm your right-hand man. And what am I, the center?
You're the stretch four.
Okay, I'm on the stretch 4, so
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right, who's next?
I'm Brett. I would be your point guard, but Scott likes to hog the ball. So
I'm also better.
Well, we haven't proven that yet. That will probably happen in a week or two.
Live feed.
Yeah, stay tuned for a live feed one-on-one match against him and me. And maybe some other fun activities. But, yeah, that's it.
Alright, I'm Alex. So seeing as you're stretch 4, you're a point guard, you're whatever you're...
Backup point guard.
I'll be the 2 guard. I'll sacrifice myself.
You're going to be the 2 guard? Alright, well, I mean, I guess...
You're not the point forward. Don't even...
No.
The small forward? Are you the mellow? Are you the mellow of the team?
He's the LaMelo.
I get streaky, so, I mean...
Oh, LaMelo might be the best ball brother.
Listen,
though, so.
Alan, he's the Brian Scalabrine of our podcast.
Yo, Brian Scalabrine has more game-winning shots in NBA Finals than any other player in NBA history.
Even over Ori?
I'm pretty sure. Wow. I'm pretty sure Scalabrine has 3, Scalabrine has 4, Horry has 3.
That's sad. I hate Scalabrine.
All right. So, like I said, we're going to do this thing called a bracket up challenge. Or bracket that thing up challenge. I'm
There
sorry.
you go. No,
Bracket
when
that
in doubt,
thing
just
up.
think of juvenile.
Bracket that thing up challenge. Scott, you're the one who normally does this. So let me have you introduce it so that I don't mess it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So at the beginning of all of our episodes, we play a nice little game we call Bracket That Thing Up. Essentially, it's Sweet 16 style bracket tournament. What we do is we go around. I let the other guys on the podcast debate. It gets real heated. It gets real intense. Alex throws things all the time.
Weird noises.
Basically, majority rules. So we'll go through and we'll all kind of get a chance to chime in. Majority rules. We'll move people on, and then we'll pick the number one. It usually ranges from sports. We do some music ones, entertainment. We've got a real special one for tonight.
I will say, I am still a little bit, what's the word you kids use these days? Salty? A little salty over the fact that Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale didn't win your bracket thing.
Our celebrity couples.
The celebrity couples.
That's them. I don't usually participate.
That's what had you mining salt? That's really what ground your gears.
Well, that and Brock and Michelle weren't on the list.
Listen,
That's his fault.
I'll tell you, Dan came into work that day and he was definitely being a holla back girl. He was, he was real upset.
That's not surprising. Like, even a little bit.
I can't remember who won that one. Was it Will and
Pretty
Jada?
sure. No, I believe it was Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
I think it went
Yeah.
up against Will
Will
and
and
Jada
Jada.
Finals, yeah.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, though, we can talk about celebrity couples another time. So we have a special one tonight. We're actually going to determine the biggest NFL draft bust.
Woo!
I thought this would be a lot of fun because, I mean, there's so many. We honestly could have done a 96-person tournament with all the NFL draft busts, but that would have taken a little bit too long, and, some of us have lives in the morning. We'll do that another time. So again, basically what I'll go through is I'll give you the 2 players. You guys go, chime in, give your thoughts, and we'll see who moves on to the next round, and so on and so forth. So there's 7 people here, so majority rules. I won't have to break any ties, which is good, because I usually don't like doing that because someone's feelings get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably
mine.
yours.
Obviously.
I want justice for Gwen and Gavin.
You'll get nothing.
Then you'll like it.
I love it.
All right. We'll do another bracket. Greatest Bush songs. All right.
Yes. I could give you a complete ranking of Bush's songs, like, right now.
Well, I mean,
Chemicals
we only had
Between Us,
16
number 1.
songs to begin with, so
I only know 2.
Chemicals Between Us, number 1, right now.
All right, fair enough. Number 1 on this bracket, though, is I'm pretty sure there won't be much of a debate here, but it's Ryan Leaf. And he's facing a guy in the 16th spot here that I think a lot of people forgot about. He didn't last very long in the league, but he's very highly touted, and he was a first-round pick, and that's Jake Locker out of Washington.
Oh, he retired
Locker,
because of
yeah.
injury, though.
Right. So part of this
Because he got
is
his head knocked off against
Yeah, but
the Texans.
But that's the question. What do you weigh here? Do you weigh injury or just being a piece of trash?
Exactly.
That's
You got to
true.
factor in
What's
like
worse?
I guess like hype versus.
to be fair, Locker
Reality.
wasn't that good to begin with.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
well-
was.
Yes, he was.
In the NFL, I mean.
He was talented.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like,
he was
College
talented,
was
but it
alright.
just didn't seem like he was figuring it
Of course
out.
they're not good.
No, it's because he was stupid and took a head-on collision with Brian Cushing.
Well, I think it brings up the question, like Tony was saying. I mean, it's hard to weigh some of these guys. Some of them happen to just be injury prone. Some of them just it's a lack of talent. Some of them they go to the wrong organization.
Why are we arguing?
really
Why are we
know.
arguing
Yeah,
that he's not the biggest bust when we know
Peyton
Ryan Leaf's just going
Manning,
to beat him
come on,
anyways?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely Ryan Leaf.
Can we take the vote? Ryan Leaf?
Ryan,
Everyone agree?
unanimous.
Hey, Ryan Leaf it is.
All
1 by
right.
20.
No hung jury on this one, huh?
Nope.
Unanimous.
All right, I'll go down the list. I won't go like 2-15, 3-14. I'll just go where we are. So an 8-9 matchup, we have Matt Leinart out of USC going up against Robert Gallery of the Oakland Raiders.
Matt Leinart, because he was a Heisman winner, I think.
Gallery
Yeah,
at
he
least
was.
he was serviceable sometimes. Like he was hit or miss, like game to game, but
What-
he at least had some kind of
What's a hit or miss offensive lineman?
like he was inconsistent.
Pancake or no
like,
pancake?
Like he was good.
Pancake
one
or
game,
waffle.
Not good another game. He went from tackle to guard. He moved around. Like he had some usability. Leinart, he was a quarterback. He's supposed to be the face of the franchise, and he wasn't. So
Matt Leinart.
So
Yeah.
Especially because in one of his chances to really step up and show himself show that he could play when Matt Schaub got hurt in the at the end of the season, he was going to be the guy that takes the Texans through the playoffs. But then he got hurt and T.J. Yates did it.
That's right, I do remember that. All right, I think this one will be fun for you, especially Dan, because I know you're a big
Which
fan.
Dan?
All of them. 'Cause I know you're a big.
They're
I know
together.
you're a big fan of Justin Blackman.
Oh, God.
oh, he had a couple. He had a pro.
So he's up next, but he's going up against Trent Richardson.
Justin Blackman.
Blackman had a good season. He had suspensions and drug problems.
I think.
Well,
that-
Richardson had a good
He was
season
just garbage.
too.
No, his
Wait.
per carry
His
average
first
didn't even
season,
hit 4.
he was still like touted highly, and then it immediately came like
What was he, the
crashing
second,
back
the
to
second
earth.
pick, and
Third-
he didn't hit
third
4 yards
overall.
a carry. Didn't have 4
Yeah,
yards a
but
carry
Blackman was
ever.
supposed to be like one of the next.
But he
like,
Blackman was
Yeah.
Blackman was
for, like, a
exposed. Blackman was exposed because he didn't have the benefit of Des Bryant being double teamed.
You sure you're not salty because you wrote a letter about him to the Cowboys?
He was the
about
first.
not picking him?
He was the first.
I did. I wrote a letter to the Cowboys for not picking Justin Blackman.
I'm surprised they didn't write you a letter back 2 years later. We're like, you have any thoughts about that Blackman pick now?
Got any more complaints about our draft process?
Now you're looking like a genius because Brian's trash now. But
Yeah, that's what it was. The only reason Justin Blackman was as good in college as he was, looking back on it, is because he was covered by their third best defender, while Dez is getting double or triple teamed. So like it's easy to catch on, garbage.
He's still before he got suspended though. He was on his way up. He was the Josh Gordon before Josh Gordon. Literally a couple years prior.
Now Matt Jones was the Josh Gordon before
Matt
Josh
Jones
Gordon.
was good, though. He was
Another
never
Jags
good.
receiver.
He was like 8 feet tall.
There is no other god before Josh Gordon.
Josh Godin.
I shall not worship any gods before him.
Thou shalt not.
Where are we going with this vote, guys?
Trent Richardson.
Justin Blackman.
I say Trent Richardson because
I
he
like
to me,
Richardson.
to me
He was
Trent
like
Richardson,
he was supposed to be
I said
Saquon Barkley. Like that's the
Three
he
two,
was,
three
he
two.
was a bust to
3-2.
me. Blackman never
I'm going with
actually
Trent.
played long enough to
4-2,
be a
that's
bust.
it.
Damn it!
Blackman had a good year.
Blackman disappoints you yet again.
Damn it! I'm gonna write you a letter, Scott.
Maybe you should
Say
write a
to my
letter to
face.
Justin Blackman.
Good thing you ran into me though.
Dear Justin Blackman, you asshole.
You couldn't even win Brack that thing up.
Put the pipe
What good
down.
are you? What good are you? The only person who should have a pipe is JR.
All right, we're gonna move on. Speaking of Buffs running backs, and speaking of Saquon Barkley, we obviously have to talk about Kajana Carter.
Yes. Yeah, he wins.
That's
just,
my
just
vote.
move on.
All right.
Doesn't matter who's.
Yeah,
Yep,
it was-
just move on.
Who was it?
Who's it?
Curiosity.
for John's sake, it was Deion Jordan.
Oh,
I'm a Dolphins fan. That hurt a lot. And Seattle,
So you
Seattle.
probably
Kessler-
there's a lot of guys
It was
on
a
this list,
decent
right?
pick. It's just
No, geez,
no, it's
It's Ken
it makes
Yeah.
me cry at night sometimes.
yeah,
that's not the other thing that makes you.
In my opinion, Kenyatta Carter's just won this entire thing.
yeah, probably.
I don't know because next
He
up
went
is
to a shitty
Achilles
school.
Smith.
Oh God, but he went to a shitty team though. Sorry,
So
went to
did,
a crappy team.
Every year, someone goes to the Bengals. What is
So did the guy he's going up against. That's Justin Gilbert.
quarterback though? Quarterback.
Again,
back.
Bengals, Browns. What's the difference?
I'm going Smith.
Keely Smith is more renowned for his being a boss. So.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
part of the problem with him too is the rest of that. I mean, there were some stacked quarterbacks that were in that same draft. Well, Donovan McNabb, I guess, was the only one who was good.
Four-
But I mean,
four
Tim
ones.
Couch was at least not as bad as Achilles Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kelly Smith was pretty bad.
If you're
I'm
the
going with
worst
Smith.
quarterback in a draft that had Tim Couch and Cade McNown in it,
Wasn't Jeff Blake?
Seriously, you had to try and suck.
Wasn't Jeff
to
Blake in that
try.
draft?
And
No,
suck.
I thought he was.
so we're going with Achilles.
Achilles,
Yeah.
All right,
his Achilles heel.
Alex, I want to hear you on this one. Up next, Tim Tebow,
Don't you dare.
Versus
Charles Rogers.
Charles Rogers, simply because Tim Tebow is not a bust by any stretch.
Tim Tebow was extremely
Tim
a bust.
Tebow won a playoff
So
game
on his.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm bitter
one.
about
and
Are you
then-
serious?
and then disappeared from the league.
because they let him go. It's
He's
not
a-
his
No,
fault.
no.
Because he's terrible.
Do you know who else? You know who won a Super Bowl? Trent fucking Dilfer. Okay, Trent
Johnson.
Dilfer. Brad Johnson won a fucking
Hasselbeck.
Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
That's elite Joe Flacco to you, sir.
He won a Super Bowl because Beyonce.
Listen,
Not the
he's salty
electricity.
because I'm a Steelers fan too.
This
But
hurts me on the inside, but Tim Tebow is not a bust.
Tim
by any
Tebow
stretch.
has best.
Tim Tebow's playing baseball now.
I don't think Tim Tebow should be viewed as a bust because of the fact that Tim Tebow shouldn't have been considered an NFL player to begin with.
No, it should
Oh,
have been a
that's
running
true.
back.
Alright,
Those
those
are
are
coming
coming
off the
He
head.
could have been Mike
Those are
outside. He could have been a fucking running back.
I
Listen,
freely
put your
admit
salt
I was
away.
a full
I'm going to tell you this
Tebow.
right now.
I was a
It
full
is the
Tebow
system
hater
that he played
from start to
under
finish,
Meyer.
and I was
okay?
so glad to
because
see him
look at
die
what Meyer's going to do
in
with
the
every
NFL.
quarterback that comes out of Ohio State. They're never going to be successful in the NFL because he doesn't make NFL quarterbacks. He makes them to win in college.
60-yard dime in the playoffs.
Cardell Jones.
Yeah, who did he throw
Everyone
it to?
has.
That
Johnny Manziel
Exactly.
before there was
how far?
Johnny
How far
Manziel.
was the ball going in the air?
At least 45.
No,
Oh, like 15
5.
yards.
That's what he does.
Get out of
All
here.
DT. It was
Let's
all
Let's take
Demarius
the Tim
Thomas.
Tebow.
I like Tim Tebow for
So Tebow, raise your hand.
especially because he had all
That's for
those that
Tebow, we
were
win.
just- that
I'll
were just
even vote for
slobbing
the
on
other
his
guy,
knob.
even though he
Charles
can't
Rogers.
We
run.
can all bite
We
my
did not
shiny
spend enough
ball.
time on Charles Rogers. He was the second
Rodgers,
overall
he only
pick.
played like 6 games. I think he's a bigger
Tim Tebow
bust.
was a
Charles
bust.
Rogers was horrible.
Yeah,
at
but
number 2.
he was part of that.
He was
he
drafted
part of that
second
Rodgers.
overall.
At least Tebow had a
Was it?
little bit of success running the ball, getting a red zone
Also, it's not
touchdown.
his fault that the Denver Broncos.
He was
let
a
him
running
go for
back.
Brock
He wasn't-
Osweiler.
Listen,
quarterback.
he wouldn't have even been in the playoffs if Matt Prater didn't hit a 63-yard field
They
goal.
didn't have that defense.
I mean, that tells you everything you really need to know.
They relied on a 60
Brock Osweiler.
They-
He was traded. He was just let go.
Beast.
I know for Brock Osweiler though.
Well, maybe Denver's just not good at picking quarterbacks.
They picked John Elway.
Yeah, that was
Actually,
Give
they didn't.
ownership.
Technically, they didn't.
Jake
The
the
Colts
Snake
did.
Plumber.
You're right.
Colts are good at
Plummer's
picking
good.
quarterbacks. They're what, three for the last 3 are pretty good.
All I'm saying is Charles Rogers was drafted ahead of Andre Johnson.
Was he really?
Charles Rogers was second overall. Andre Johnson was
There
third.
was a lot of
Now, how much hype was there around around him? Tim Tebow
Obviously enough.
is the most polarizing player in the NFL outside of
he's
Colin
Christian,
Kaepernick.
he's
But
nice.
there were a lot of people like myself who thought he was going to be terrible. So
I
Because
thought
he
so, too.
was
So is-
terrible.
So he
So is
lived
he a
up to
bust
your
then?
expectations.
Exactly. That would make him
exceeded
not
it
a
a
bust,
little
and
bit.
that
He
actually
exceeded it a
Yeah,
that
but
actually
that's your personal opinion. I mean, he's
That's
still
just
a
like
first-round
your
pick.
opinion, man.
Tebow? Yeah.
Like,
where
thought he
where
was-
was he
He
picked?
was like
He was
24th.
12.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
late
he was
first.
24th
20s.
overall. I remember watching
He didn't
that.
pull an
24th
Aaron
overall
Rodgers.
is just as good as a second rounder.
Eh.
It is not. It is literally a third of a round
Well,
better.
No, if
And at that time, it was
quarterbacks in
like
late first usually
60
aren't
Thank you, John Madden.
So We're going with Tebow, right?
Tebow, yes.
We're going with
Rodgers
I
the
hate you.
worst. He's the worst. He's the worst.
Let's move on.
I actually think I agree that Rodgers the worst bust because I don't think
Two
Tebow